with over 100 views in our first episode. We're going to do it again. Welcome to the Kicking Off podcast, a football podcast, because there's not enough of them. I'm joined by my former boss, now current pundit, Ben Ballantyne. Hi, Ben, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you very much.
And I'm joined by a semi-decent dart player, so he's called Ross the Toss. How did you get on last night? Was it a league match last night, Ross?
It was a league match. We won
Tell me about
7-1. I won all my games. I won my singles game. I hit 7-7 in both legs. It was, my God, the scenes. You should have seen the two people in there clapping. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I was one of them. It was unbelievable.
Great stuff. We'll peel the curtain. We have already recorded this podcast once, and it's got lost to the ether, so we're doing it again. It was the greatest podcast ever recorded by man ever, and sadly, this won't compare. This will just be a tribute.
You've got to believe me. I wish you were there.
Yeah, exactly. Right, that's the fun and games over. Let's talk about England.
Losing.
Currently losing. We'll do the Andorra game first. Saw the lineup, so I've just got the lineup here as well. I saw Cole Palmer in number 10, and I sort of thought, oh, that's good. I'm Morgan Rogers. I was happy about that. And then I noticed a really, really good right back called Reece James, but he was playing left back. So, not quite sure what was going on there. And then Curtis Jones, known for playing right back, I suppose. And then when you look at tonight, one sec, Ben. And then when you look at tonight's lineup, Lewis Skelly started at left back. What? He's like probably the best left back in this country, and will be for the next 10, 15 years, most likely. Why is he not starting?
They're tired.
Yeah.
Apparently. These footballers.
Yeah.
Prime athletes.
No other nations' players are tired. Just English. Just the English players.
Yeah.
It's the weather.
What, the rain? The rain.
Yeah. That tires you out, doesn't it?
Tell you what, though, it is unbelievably frustrating, isn't it, when you're looking at all of the players England have got available to them, and we have to shoe on someone out of position. I don't know what on earth we're doing trying to do that. Forcing a midfielder to play right back. There's just no need for it. Just play him in the natural positions. I absolutely hate it.
Yep. And then something else, which I want to point out in the Andorra game was the ripe young Jordan Henderson playing defensive midfield against a team of League 5 Spanish players.
It says is that you're playing against the equivalent of playing against Aldershot. It's like we need to stir it up at the back. We can't let him break through. We need Jordan to sort it out. It was an interesting choice. Maybe Harry Redknapp was right. Maybe he is a spy. I always knew it. Harry. He didn't make stuff up. Old Harry. He knew Lampard was going to be good. He knew Tuchel was going to try and take us down. He don't mess about.
The thing is that England squad that inexperienced that we have to take Jordan Henderson because he's such a good character off the field and he can still add a little bit to the team on the pitch when we need him, given those experience. But I just can't get my head around how we can be going into a position where we're playing Andorra and you're not even calling up Adam Wharton. I just can't understand it. It was going to, as far as I'm concerned, unless somebody else comes out of nowhere, is very likely to be England's centre midfielder probably for the next 8 years.
100%.
Not the experience.
He's not had the experience.
He's just can't play him.
He's just won the FA Cup and he played fantastic in that game against Man City in the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
You know, same with Skelly. We mentioned Skelly earlier. I know, and Skelly's not like a Kobe Mainoo situation where he does have 10 decent games for Man United, then suddenly he's put into the England lineup, and then a year later, nowhere to be seen. Lewis Skelly is unbelievably good. And I tell you something, during last season, I thought, when they took that lead to Real Madrid, and Lewis Skelly is, how old is he? Has he just turned 18, hasn't he?
19, yeah, I think.
Yeah. Just turned 19. He's I really did think, right, playing away at Real Madrid, this is going to test your character because you've got 60,000 Real Madrid fans in there. The Arsenal fans are in the top right-hand corner. You can't even see them. And his maturity was unbelievable. So, back to your point, Ben, a minute ago about, do we need Jordan Henderson, experienced old guard who's been there and done it in that team? Well, the answer is no, isn't it? Clearly.
Where do they get the experience from then? If we can't introduce these players because they need experience
against Andorra.
Well, I'm sorry, son. You don't have enough experience to play against the low block of Andorra.
Yeah.
You can't understand it, can you? These are Premier League footballers, elite players.
Yeah, the best of the best, allegedly.
We just don't need to be, or is it just simply a case of, like I've said many times before, there's a whole world of football outside England, and I think English can be quite arrogant about obviously how good our leagues are. And they are good, but it doesn't mean that players from other leagues aren't capable of coming in and doing it.
Yeah. Ross, Harry Kane scored against Andorra, the world's greatest goal scorer for England. I mean, what do you think to these, because they love stats these days, don't they? And they go, Harry Kane, he scored all these goals.
XG.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing in the world.
And, and they'll compare him to the greatest strikers that England's ever had, and technically he has scored the most goals in an England shirt out of everyone, but it's just Andorra. It's hard. It's so hard to get up against. I don't know what the point I'm trying to get to is, but other than Harry Kane, who is there to play up front? We've got no one else. It's quite.
Well, when does Harry Kane not play?
Yeah, he's playing tonight against Senegal.
Yeah, I think he's just come off at half time for. I think he put Morgan Rogers on. I think.
It's just Bellingham's just scored, but it's been disallowed for VAR.
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it's rubbish. I'm furious.
I did watch the first half of the England game and against Senegal, and we're now playing two older midfielders. We've got Declan Rice and Colin Gallagher running around in midfield just holding hands, meaning that we're struggling to play forward because Lewis Skelly can't invert like he normally does because Gallagher stood within 4 yards of him.
Yeah, I do like Conor Gallagher. Don't get me wrong, but like you say, I know Senegal's got a better midfield than Andorra, 100%. But again, do we need two defensive midfielders at home in a friendly?
Conor Gallagher's not ever been. Can he sit in a holding position? Absolutely, but he's a box to box player, isn't he?
Well, for Atletico Madrid, I think he's been a bit more disciplined because
that's a Simeone style.
Simeone's like, and they love him over there, don't they?
Well, let's not argue with Simeone. If he wants to play that way, that's what I'm playing.
I think so. After the Andorra game, all I heard or all I read was how tired they are, and they need a rest. Why they're playing a World Cup qualifier at the end of after the end of this season, and probably is a valid point. But I watched the Spain-France game the other night in the Nations League semi-final, and their players didn't look tired. And people would say, "Oh yeah, but the Premier League is the most hardest league in the world." It's like, well, where do all these players play for the other nations? I mean, most of them play in the Premier League or Spain or Italy or France. They're not exactly playing in crap leagues, are they? It's not like they're playing in leagues where they just put their feet up.
But is this where it becomes because the England team can almost write itself because it seems Jordan Henderson's still getting in it. It seems unbelievably hard to break into it. Is it a case of that these England players are getting too comfortable? That they're allowed to have excuses of being tired? Because I'm telling you now, you call up the likes of Adam Wharton or whatever into midfield, he's not going to look tired, is he? Trying to put on a showcase for England to get in a non-game but give himself a chance to go to a tournament, and he's going to really want to show what he can do. So for me, is it that these games are maybe a little bit too just low profile for these big timers, which is maybe just do give them a rest then?
I mean, it's funny though, because when they play Slovenia in the Euro, it was quarter final, they still play like shit as well. So
they're probably tired then.
Well, they're always tired. English players are always tired. It's just like no other players tired, just English players all the time. We'll move on to the Nations League briefly. What's your thoughts on the Nations League? Because everyone calls it a glorified friendly. I don't even care about it. But then the team who always wins it always tends to be one of the big nations. So is it like are England ever going to win anything? Because if you just, what's the point playing in any competition?
As a simple English man, I do not care about the Nations League. But the day that England win it, if they ever do, like, it's a massive trophy for the boys. It's a massive trophy.
Yeah, but it is,
what
though.
a moment!
Like, every
But
team who wins.
it's still relatively new. It's one of them. It's like now, it's like the Club World Cup started, and
Hey, we'll get into that.
they've made it a bigger thing. It's like who gives? Funnily enough, who gives a tot? But 10 years from now,
go in there, mate.
10 years from now, you have 10 years worth of X, Y, or Z winning it, and you've got all these you'll get younger, newer people getting into the game. It'll become a bigger thing, and people will care more about it. But as of now, it's like I still think about the Intertoto Cup. Kind of like that's a proper trophy. It's one of them. Like, yeah, now who cares? But in a few years' time, I'm sure it'll become more well sought about. But you see people seeing like Ronaldo crying afterwards, and like, what's he crying about that for? He didn't cry after winning La Decima, but he's crying after winning that.
I think that's the argument, isn't it? I think that's the argument that, you know, these players are playing at the highest level. They're playing for the country. They're proud to play for the country. And then even to win, you know, a relatively new trophy, it still means a great deal to these players, especially Ronaldo. And he's probably crying because it's going to be probably the last trophy he'll probably win, you know, a major honour he's probably ever going to win in his career, more than likely. But then the English media, I just think like they just make excuses all the time. Oh, it's just a glorified friendly. But England can't win it because we're not good enough to win it. And, you know, and it's like in the Premier League, it goes, oh, it's only the League Cup. Oh, it's only the FA Cup. Well, you only got fucking three competitions you're playing domestically. And two of them, everyone just writes off, oh, it's only the League Cup. So like when Wenger won 3 out of 5, in that 5-year spell, he won 3 FA Cups. And everyone's, oh, it's only the FA Cup. So if Sheffield Wednesday won the FA Cup, I think I'd have 3 months off work on a bender, you know, just constantly drinking. You know what I mean? Just keep drinking until, you know, for 3 months celebrating. It's a massive deal.
I don't think you'd be here now if you won 3 in 5 years.
Yeah, 3 in 5 years. Like, and he just looking at a Nations League. So there's been 3 Nations League winners: Portugal, France, Spain. Right? You know, 3 big hitters there. You know, England aren't even in the final. England got relegated from the group stage. You know, we got relegated out of the top group.
Yeah, we say it's a glorified friendly. It's 3-1. It's 3-1 Senegal. They say it's a glorified friendly.
Mate.
They can't win a bloody real. They can't win an actual friendly, let alone a glorified one.
I tell you something. I watched that first half of the Senegal game, and I don't know what you thought, Ben, but the atmosphere felt so flat again. And I don't know. I think there's an issue at the moment with just grounds across the country as a whole. Atmospheres are dead at the moment, aren't they?
I think it's because it's very quickly becoming that. I think English football fans are sick of seeing possession-based obsession. We're not here to come and watch football. We love football because it's entertaining. It's because it's it's sporadic. You've got absolutely no idea what teams are going to do. But more and more now, you can pretty much guarantee they're going to come up, set up in a 4-2-3-1. They're going to just play out the back, try and keep the ball. And it's hard to get fans off their seat, aren't you? You're just a nervous wreck watching your goalkeeper who can't kick a ball try and play like Beckenbauer.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's flat in general.
I think, well, I partly agree. And I also think, and it is a good thing, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but, you know, because it's become very family friendly now, you know, and for a good reason, you know, more women are going back to the football, more kids are going to the football. You know, I'm calling out, like, you know, indecent chants and stuff, boisterous chants. And, I mean, I've heard some horrific chants at Hillsborough before. And you do go there, and I don't think the people who singing it even mean it, but it did generate atmosphere, didn't it? But you can't say anything anymore, you know. And I do think that has a bit of a role to play with it as well, you know.
I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100% about that.
But Ross is just like
we can't repeat any of the chants.
Ross is just nodding his head, bring back the chance.
Yeah. It's.
I mean, I heard Neil Warnock get some awful abuse at Hillsborough before.
I had him get some awful abuse at Leeds when he was Leeds manager. Anywhere else.
Not that it was too bad, but it must have really hurt. And my favourite this season was being Sheffield United at their place while singing for about 10 minutes. You're just a shit Sheffield Wednesday.
I mean, club-wise, probably, but from squad-wise, I'd rather have their squad. Well, we have not even got a squad at the moment, have we? So I'd rather have York City's squad at the moment.
You've got 16 of them, mate. Hopefully they're not tired.
Yeah.
Hey, it's easy to get tired in this game nowadays.
Yeah. I know, bless them. They get so tired. You know, they have all the money in the world, all the resource, all the, you know, the squads are massive. They have 5 subs. You know, they've got bloody cryo chambers. You name it. The pitch is made out of it's like a carpet. They're tired. Man City at their training ground have beds for each player. So if you can't get home after training, you can nip in there and have a kip before you go home.
So where Jack Grealish is with a couple of tinners.
Yeah.
That's probably why he's not getting picked anymore. He's always having a kip.
Where's Jack? He's having a nap.
He's had 2 special brews and he's off.
We've all been there. It's fine.
Right. Well, just leave it. The last thing I want to do is say about the World Cup qualification, because I did just see Serbia are playing Andorra tonight versus Andorra. Let's just check the score. The live score for Serbia versus Andorra. It's Serbia 3, Andorra 0.
Someone knows how to beat the low box.
Yeah. Mitrovic scored a hat-trick. It might have something to do with their striker staying in the box, Harry Kane. I don't know about you guys, but that's where I want my centre forward. I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, there's been a couple of times in the Senegal game where he's dropped deep. Taters are praising him for pinging a lovely ball out wide to like Gordon.
Yeah, and it was, and that ball was amazing. It was a great ball.
Apart from Gordon, has no one's crossed to.
Yeah,
because he wasn't where he should be.
Yeah, so that is a worry, though, isn't it, with Harry Kane? You know, he seems like we're over-reliant to him. He plays all the time. We've got no real successor to him other than Liam Delap. I mean, because Ivan Toney's 29, probably 30 soon. You know, I know it's not super old, but in football terms, it sort of is, isn't it? It's younger than me and you, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. We're bloody tired.
Yeah. So you got Liam Delap. Is he even in the England squad?
No. He'll be in 21 still, is he?
Right. Okay.
But again, it's one of those, isn't it, where that you've got to, at some stage, as a country, they're going to have to pick someone, aren't they? Because what's the point in taking 3 old heads when they're not going to play?
Yeah.
Like, you need... I know I've already ranted on about it. You need to use these games like Andorra, where you're more than likely, no matter how bad you play, going to come away with 3 points. So you need those games to bed these players in. You know, I know obviously they're losing now against Senegal, and
it's finished.
Lost 3-1.
Yeah.
So, but you've got to put these players in, and you can watch England against watching Spain or France or Portugal. You watch those teams, and it's like all of them as a country playing together, they have like an identity. They all know what's going on. You can see the England players. You can see they look confused, and it's been like that for a while, hasn't it? Towards the end of Southgate's reign, where they're just needlessly passing the ball around, trying to stay in like a rigid shape. From what I saw from Senegal tonight, Senegal just ran them ragged, and they were running in corners, a lot of off the ball running. They were very direct when they got the ball.
Hey, their left back, that Juve.
Oh yeah,
he looked good, doesn't he?
Where's he at? Like Sparta Prague, isn't he?
Sparta Prague, and he's up against Saka and Kyle Walker on that left hand side, and
yeah, some of those crosses he put in were good, weren't they?
Yeah, kept up with both of them. I'd be surprised if he hadn't got a move this summer, because he looked good. Right, let's move on. So we've said his piece on England. It's same old story, innit?
Is he going to get sacked quicker than Allardyce?
I think it's too late for that
I think that's
already.
virtually impossible.
Is he gone? He's let it go. I wasn't sure when Sam gave his advice on being able to buy 2 football clubs or whatever it was he said.
What did you think of Tuchel's appointment anyway, in the first place, sort of thing? So it wasn't something what thrilled me, and I don't really care about he's German. He's managing England. An Englishman will never ever manage Germany, and that speaks volumes. He did win a Champions League with Chelsea, but I weren't overly impressed with his Chelsea team. I never watched it and thought, "Wow, these blow people away." I'd rather have, out of Chelsea managers, I'd rather have Pochettino personally. I think he plays a better brand of football.
Are these managers though that are coming into England? Are they being allowed to just crack on and do it their way? Because what I've just seen, that's not a Thomas Tuchel side. Played nothing like what he plays.
No.
I've watched, 1.5 games.
He's 4 games in charge now, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I haven't seen anything showing me that it's any different to watching I'm not just talking results wise, I'm talking performance related. I've not seen anything suggest to me that we're playing in any other way than what you saw under Gareth.
No.
Looks exactly the same.
Well, I think Tuchel's a pragmatic manager, and Southgate was clearly pragmatic as a manager. So I didn't see how the style could change that much. We're crying out for a new manager, always attacking players. Then we get a manager who likes to win 1-0. It's just, it just didn't seem right and the right appointment. What do you think, Ross?
When the announcement was done, I was sat in a Miller and cart and I took it into a steak, and I thought, that's interesting. That's interesting. We'll see how it goes. And I'm already jaded. I'm already out. The steak was nice, but the results past that it's been the same story since I was born in '96, and I feel like since from that day, from that year forward, it's just been like, England are on. Fucking hell. It's been that for 28 years.
He had to drop that in, Blair, didn't he? I was born in '96.
Yeah, child. Because I'm 30 next year.
Mad, isn't it? It's scary. Right, let's move on to some transfer news. So the big hitters. We can talk about rumours, but I want to concentrate more on the signed, sealed, delivered ones. Biggest ones seem to be the teams who have been most active. Seem to be the ones in the Club World Cup. Of course, I just found out today, but there was a transfer window shut today. There's 2 transfer windows.
It's deadline day.
It's deadline
Somebody
day.
called Jim.
Ben, Man City have made 3 signings.
Surprise, surprise.
Is it 3 or 2? Because Reinders hasn't signed yet, has he?
No, I don't think the Reinders.
So they have made 3. They got that keeper in, who's just got the best job of his life.
Bettinelli.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet you can't believe his luck.
It's been,
Chelsea third keeper.
He's just been at Chelsea and an absolute packet
for 4 years.
Yeah. Now he's going to be Man City's third choice and just probably there for 4 or 5 years, just racking up the trophies and the money.
What was it, Scott Carson? 11 trophies in 108 minutes.
That's some career. That
it's not bad, is it? Hey, he played 4 games for Leeds. He's had a brilliant career.
Hey, he played a lot of games for Wednesday. He was good for Wednesday as well.
He did.
Be even better if he's got some bonuses written in his contract when we win the league. I get it.
I know, yeah. They also signed Ait-Nouri from Wolves. What do you think about him, Ben?
Very good signing.
He's better than 7 Nori, that's for sure.
Not as good as 9 Nori, though. They should have gone for 9.
Yeah, very good player. I think, it seems a bit of a bargain. What have they paid? Like 31 million quid for him?
Yeah, who's been playing there, right? Who's been playing their left back this season? Was it?
It's been O'Reilly for quite a while.
Yeah.
Because he had Rico Lewis out there, who doesn't look to have kicked on, does he, from when he first... Still looks a good player, but I don't think he seems to have got much better than he was.
I don't know what position he is, though. Has he fell victim to the utility man already?
He's another one of these like inverted right backs that's been shoved out to left back because of lack of players. And then they played Guardiola there a bit, haven't they, as well?
Yeah.
Who's obviously class.
And then the big one they've signed today is Cherky, who seems to be the one who's going to be replacing Grealish because he's been left out of the squad. What do you think to him?
Well, he's
Either of you?
another very, very good, talented player. I think there's been lots of questions about his work ethic in the past, but he must have sorted that out. He's been on top form for Lyon, and he's had his first international call up for France, and I think he got a goal and an assist. I think on his debut for France as well.
He's
But
got 1 and 2 or something.
He's got an absolute wand of a left foot.
Right. Well, that's all. That's all Man City needs. Another player with a
Mahrez.
wand of a left foot.
It seems like a bit of a bargain, though. I mean, 30 mil or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
So that's only 5 mil more than Leeds paid for Dan James. It's like, for God's sake. It does me, but I mean, God knows what wages he'll be on. I'm sure he's on more a week than
more
Dan
money
James.
than Dan James.
Yeah.
We've then got, the team that doesn't spend any money in Liverpool. They've spent a good 60-odd million already. They got a goalkeeper in from Valencia, the big Georgian, 6'6".
Yeah,
He's a
Mohamed
big lad.
Ashford, good keeper.
He's going to be pushing Alisson to number 1, but I thought Alisson had a very good season this season, especially that game away at PSG. He was immense.
How old's Alisson now? 34.
30 something. He's
Let's
definitely
find
in his
out.
30s. I want to say 33. But
He's 32. He's 33 in October, so he's still not even that old, really, for a keeper, is it?
No, unless
bit of a bizarre one, isn't it? Unless he's off to unless he's off to Saudi Arabia soon to cash in.
Yeah. Either Saudis are coming or he's off back home to Brazil. But they've sold Kelleher, haven't they? But I don't know. It seems a lot of money to spend on a backup goalie.
On a number 2. So it's like 30 million quid for him and all, isn't it?
But he's obviously Valencia's starting keeper, so you'd imagine he wants to be playing his football.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to do a similar thing with him, and for the first year he comes in, they bed him in doing what they did with Kelleher, and he just plays all the cup games.
Yeah, well, probably will do that 100%. And then they've also signed. Is it Jerome Frimpong?
Yeah.
His first name? Jermaine or
Jermaine.
Jeremy Frimpong. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, I knew I was wrong.
Sorry, just say 6 J names and one of them. We'll agree with one of them.
Timothy.
Ross, what type of player is he? Is he just rapid? Is he just a speed merchant?
I mean, playing for Celtic, he looked like the greatest player in the world. And then it's like he went to Leverkusen, and it was like he was in England, wasn't he? Was it Man City?
Man City Academy, yeah.
Yeah. And then he's gone to Celtic. He's looked like a world beater, and you get that obviously Scottish bias, and you're like, oh yeah, I could look like a world beater in Scotland, and you think that, but then some guy from Ross County will come in and chop you in half. But he's gone to Leverkusen, and he's looked like $1 million. Going forward, class. Going backwards, maybe a bit iffy, but I wouldn't say Alexander Arnold's not. He's not. When you think about him, you don't think about a defender. You think about some guy whipping crosses in. Well, I think that's a pretty good replacement, really, because he is a speed merchant. But I think there is a bit more to him than just that. I think that, and for the money they paid for him, I think that's a pretty bloody good signing, to be honest. That's a really good signing.
And if they sign Kirkhead as well, that's going to be quite frightening, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then probably the biggest transfer so far has got to be Liam Delap to Chelsea, Ben, for 30 million quid. Just giving Ipswich that extra £30 million head start in the Championship.
Just what we need. Well, yeah. He's thinking back. We're talking like 18 months ago. I'm watching him play for Hull City.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What was the fan reaction like when you first signed him?
Well, I remember ringing you and we're having that conversation about the fans kicking off because Stoke City and Preston fans were just hammering us because of how crap he'd been on loan. I was trying to say to him, like, you don't keep getting new contracts at Manchester City if there isn't something about you. And sometimes these kids do need that experience, don't they, of it just not being quite right for them. Maybe it gets them to dig a bit deeper to see what they're made of. And certainly when I saw him at Hull City, I knew he was a good player, but no way did I think he was going to be signing for one of the big boys.
Yeah, I can see why he went to Chelsea, but personally I probably would have chose Everton. So I know Everton was looking at him as first, and I thought...
How long's the contract length?
It's going to be
7 years.
Minimum 5, isn't it, at least?
Well, happy retirement, son.
Yeah, according to a
because he won't play again until he's, he'll leave Chelsea when he's about 30 or something.
yeah, according to reports, it looked like Everton were basically willing to be a stepping stone for him as well.
Yeah.
So they even said like, look, we will move you on in a couple of years' time, but you just help us kick on and try and get us into some European places. I'm sure that must be Everton's ambition this season.
But surely he could go to Everton and probably still earn 100 grand.
Yeah, it's not like he's gonna be like food banking, is he? It's like
No, I just hope he plays when he goes to Chelsea and it doesn't become another
It
one of
must
these.
be. Maybe Jackson might be pushed out to the left because they need another winger. They love a winger at Chelsea.
They
He might be a bit more.
need another winger. Got about 9 on books.
Yeah.
And they've just signed a new one.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
Jamie
absolutely.
Byron Gittins has gone there from Dortmund.
Has he gone there?
No, they've rejected it. They've rejected 42 million today.
Oh well.
I mean, who knows?
He'll be going there. Chelsea.
Yeah,
probably
I
still happen.
imagine that's them saying we want him to play in the Club World Cup, so you can have him after. Because if he has a good, let's just say Dortmund do win the Club World Cup, which I am rooting for them. It's got nothing to do about I've pulled them out of a sweepstake. They are the best team in the competition. Let's be right. And if he has let's just say he does have a good tournament, he's just going to put an extra 50 million on his price tag because that's how stupid the market is these days, and that's what they're probably thinking. Dortmund.
And when does the Club World Cup start? Is it tomorrow?
Tuesday, isn't it?
Oh, so they've got a bit of break before it.
Yeah, I think it's. Oh, is it Monday? Or is it Sunday? Yeah, it's next week. It starts next week.
I'm looking forward to it though, but on the basis that I like to watch, the
100%,
South American teams.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I think on the next episode we'll do, because I think we might do a third. We'll do we'll spend a lot of time on it. We'll try and preview every team and see what we can find some weird facts out.
It's Sunday.
It's starting Sunday. Oh
yeah.
God.
First game's at 8:00. It's PSG 8:00 our time. PSG Atletico, and then you've got Palmeiras Porto at 11:00, and Ali, something like that against Inter Miami at 1 a.m.
Wow.
So we're back to 3 games of football a day.
Group stage.
I'm going to be in bed.
Brilliant.
Well, all I'm saying is, if my employer's listening, my production's going to be very bad over the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
What's going on? I've been watching Ali versus Inter Miami because I can't help
for the podcast.
It is exactly.
We've got dozens of followers. It's like quote on Mike Bassett, isn't it? Mike Bassett manager. It's like, Bassett, have you got a comment for a literal dozen of fans for rural county? B, you were talking. You rang me the other day. You was researching a bit of PSR. I just feel so sorry for Aston Villa. It's like no matter what they do, no matter how well they do, how successful their seasons are, they just seem to just get forced to sell player after player after player, and a lot of people, a bit like me, aren't as educated as you on PSR, and we just don't understand why. Why can Man United still get to spend so much money when they're failing, and a team what's doing well, getting into Europe, are seeming to be on the cusp of breaching it all the time?
Yeah, I just don't think it's very obvious that obviously you see a team like Manchester United not getting Champions League football or any European football, and you think it's going to hurt them, but because of the 3-year rule in PSR rules, and the amount of money Manchester United generate off the field, they're even though they spend such astronomical wages and they've got a lot of players they need to get rid of to make it a better situation for them, but they make so much money that their wages to income is way off. They've got so much spare money that Man United could probably go out and spend another 250, 300 million. It's not going to affect them.
Right.
Even with nothing, unless they're not going to get it for the next 3 years or something, then they might have to start thinking about what they're doing. But Aston Villa are already running at something like 91% wages to how much income they generate.
Yeah, I saw something like they can lose 50 million quid before they breach PSR.
Yeah,
which I just find crazy.
It's sad, isn't it? having to try and understand how these clubs can never break into it without, it's clear to me that a one-off breaking into it is never going to really help you. It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be that you do it consecutively to give you enough chance. Because once you do qualify, these players, your own players, before you even bring any new ones in, are saying, "Well, I'm a Champions League player now. I want to be paid Champions League money."
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll leave, won't they? So it's difficult, and you're constantly pushing those barriers. But you already saw last season. Like, would you have thought Villa was going to have to sell Diaby? He looked decent, didn't he?
Yeah, really good player.
And they're going to have to do it again. They're going to have to sell. Is it Martinez?
Martinez
looks
is
like
off. Look, apparently even like Onana might be going as well. They only just signed him.
Yeah.
I just feel and that's why I think, and the rumor was, but they offered Watkins to Arsenal, didn't they, like in last January?
Yeah, when it was leaked from the press, it was saying that Arsenal had bid 60 million quid.
Yeah, it was the opposite way around, wasn't it?
But I can't remember where it's come from. But from a good source was suggesting that they know for certain it was Aston Villa tried to ship him off for 60 million quid.
Yeah,
and I think that's why you saw Watkins have those attitude. He had a bit of an attitude issue and was sitting out a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it came back towards the end of the season when his future was more secure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they sold John Duran for 70 mil.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a world now where 70 million just isn't a lot of money. It just makes me want to vomit so much.
But all of who else is there? Nottingham Forest are in trouble.
Yeah.
Both Forest and I forgot the name already. Forest and Villa will be they'll be punished by UEFA because they're going to break their rules because they're not as big as the Premier Leagues. Right. I think you can only lose, is it 70 million quid or something?
So so the PSR is more about income off the field to wages rather than.
Well, it's not necessarily. I guess it's not necessarily off the field, but just how much money you generate in your income overall.
Right.
That you have to publish, which obviously does take a part of what you earn off the field. It's your wages to how much money that is. It's the percentage ratio of that you get. So because Man United have got such a high ceiling on how much money they get, they're not spend, like Man United are something like the fourth best team for that wage to income ratio.
God, and you think
because of how much money they earn,
£350,000 a week.
Yeah.
Still.
And the tea lady's on the street.
Yeah, the tea lady's on the street.
Which then makes you think, doesn't it? Is all this nonsense that's come from Jim Radcliffe of saying they're about to go bust?
Yeah, load of shite.
Because, well, how much have they saved sacking these members of staff, whether he thinks they've got too much or not?
$1 million, 2 million max.
Yeah, which
is a lot of money. Which is a lot of money, but it's not, is it, in football?
What's a lot of money is spending 15 million quid on trying to get Dan Ashworth and then spending another 8 million quid on
get him out 6 months later.
Because we just realised it wasn't going to work. Sorry, tea lady, and sorry everyone at the club. You're going to have to buy your own sandwiches from now on.
And you're not allowed to work from home anymore, so that's more of a cost to them. So they've got to fork out money for commuting, and they've got kids and that, so it'd be more childcare costs and that sort of crap.
But did you see the interview we did with Gary Neville?
Ratcliffe?
Yeah.
No.
And Gary Neville was asking him, so why have you scrapped all the dinners for the old retired players that obviously haven't played in the era of booming football wages? And every year or whatever, Man United would contribute, I think it's something like 100 grand or something to that sort of charity which helped those players. And they've just scrapped it. And Gary Neville said to him, did you not just think about doing a dinner? Getting some of the current players in, flog a few memorabilia. Yeah. We'll do a dinner and we'll raise the 100 grand that way. He just sits there and goes, well, no one put that to me, Gary. Well, you're a businessman, pal. That's...
Sheffield Wednesday's class of 91, mate, they're still dining out on that now. You just know it one's skin because suddenly one of the legends pops up and goes, he's doing a dinner.
Yeah.
In a Hillsborough. And then it's it'll sell out, £120 a ticket, it'll sell out, loads of people will go. And it's just whoa. So it's easy money. And you get Beckham to show up. You'll make hundreds, thousands, Probably 1 million.
Well, we know why they're doing it. We know why they're doing it, but if a legend's doing a talk at your club, it's likely you're going to go.
Yeah. So, Ross, before we do a quiz and end it, hearing all that PSR talk, does that make you confident for next season for Leeds in the Premier League, or do you think you'll be back in the Championship in a year's time?
On the day of promotion, the day of the title being sealed up, I was on a train to Bristol. I was walking down. I'd had a few train beers, and I was walking down, pointing at all these random people on the way on a train. Funnily enough, the train was going to Plymouth, but I was getting off at Bristol. Because champions again, guys. As I was walking to the bathroom, you can't believe it, can you? I can. Come on. And then I came back while my girlfriend, who's a Hull City fan, was quietly just taking a moment of reflection because they stayed up on goal difference. And I came back, sat back down, put my arm round her. Can't wait to get 6 points next season. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Yeah, obviously, depending on who we sign, a keeper important. Very important, especially after seeing Carl Darlow flapping at a few things last night for Belgium-Wales game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's. I mean, as a Leeds fan, I know how money can affect your team, because we were one of the last teams to get relegated without parachute payments. And see, the last time we got relegated without parachute payments, we got 90 points, 100 points. Pretty much straight back up. When we got relegated without parachute payments, 16 years. It took 16 years.
No comment.
I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I think it's the gap's got bigger, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The gap's got bigger, and I know Leeds fans absolutely love him, but I'm not convinced you're going to see anything what you've seen from like Tanaka. I just can't see him doing it in the Premier League, and I know you Leeds fans absolutely love him and think he's unbelievable.
He's the best player in the world.
But you look at him. Look at Ipswich.
You look at Connor Chaplin at Ipswich.
Ipswich practically bought a championship team
in League One,
like the best championship team. When they went up to Premier League, they went and got Liam Delap. Who else did they get from from Hull?
Hutchinson from Chelsea.
Hutchinson, Philogene,
Greavesy.
And Jack Clark. Right, I watched Jack Clark several times in the Championship, and he were almost untouchable. He was that good. And then you've watched him in Premier League, and you're like, we're struggling to beat anyone.
Yeah.
And I just think the gap's absolutely massive.
I don't really want to talk about football, the Championship in Wednesday at the moment, because it's very, very depressing at the moment. So let's talk about Hull City. Have they got their manager yet, Ben?
No. So today, so we've been told.
You told me this was done and dusted last week.
Yeah. So it's because we keep getting told that it's going to be a few days, because he's on holiday with his family. But there's some sort of issue with his contract that needs ironing out. I don't know. So, but he's also bringing in some staff with him. I think he's about 3 or 4 with him. But by all accounts, he's been forced to take another, who I think is going to be an English coach, to come in and support that group. However forced that is, or that was just part of the interview that they think is going to help him going forward. But so a few more days, I think. So we'll speak about it next weekend that he's still not here.
Right. Shall we end it with a quiz?
Why not?
Well, no one will ever know this, but Ross won the last quiz.
It still hurts.
On the greatest podcast ever recorded by man.
It's like the 1975 Champions League final all over again.
So it's the top 20. We're going to do a game of categories. Ross will do one, and then go to Ben, and then we're back to Ross. The top 20. I'm looking for the top 20 assists of all time.
Oh God, of all time.
In the Premier League. So from 92, when football began.
Yes.
Apart from Liverpool fans now, I've honored him in the past because they got 20, but without the I mean, it's 2 Premier Leagues, lads. But so the past means something now.
Yeah.
Because it's 2. Because we got 20, same as Man United. Anyway, So since '92, who got the most assists? Top 20 assists in the Premier League. So we'll start with you, Ross.
Oh God, Dennis Bergkamp.
He is on the list.
Yes.
He's number 6 with 94 assists.
I'm going to go with Ryan Giggs.
Number 1, 162.
Yeah, sound.
I did see a post, right, and I just you know it's written by someone who's like 15 years old, never saw him play, and he did make about 600 appearances for Man United in the Premier League, and he's got 162 assists, and someone put just shows how overrated he was. And it's just like, wow, you really, really, really did
Tell
not.
that to Rodri's wife.
Yeah.
She rated him well enough.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's your pick, Ross. It's your pick. Pick on it.
I'm gonna say Mohamed Salah.
Oh, number 10 with 87.
Frank Lampard.
Frankus Lampard. Number 5, 102.
Okay. I'm gonna try and throw out. Oh no! If I get one wrong, am I
Yeah, you're gone,
in
mate.
trouble? I'm
You've
gone.
got a life.
All right. I might not say that just yet. Then
I mean, you've got some really big hitters here.
Steven Gerrard.
Surely he's on here.
He's got to be. He's got to be.
He is, number 8.
All
Number
right,
8,
Sam.
92. 92.
He's got-
David Beckham.
David Becks. 11.
Oof, lower than I thought.
Yeah, only he got 80 assists.
He's sucking toes again, Paul Scholes.
Oh yeah, he'll be up there.
You gone, Ross? You
You're
finished.
joking.
He's not in it. He's not in the top 20.
God, trust a ginger to let me down.
Oh.
Bloody hell.
You know, some names I'm going to tell you in a minute, and you're going to go, oh my God. What? Ben, pick a name. You might win it for the win.
The win. We'll go with who's got a lot of assists? Wayne Rooney. He'll have got a lot.
He did, number 4. 103
I was
assists.
to say, is Sadio Mane on there?
No.
All right, I'd have gone out earlier anyway, so it's fine.
Right. So you missed that. You missed Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how did we miss that?
Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah.
David Silva.
Yeah.
You know, this guy was decent. Thierry Henry.
I didn't think about him. I didn't think
He was
about
all right,
him.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was all right.
The only name I didn't think you would get was Darren Anderton.
Darren Anderton.
It was 18th on the list.
Well done, mate. Hey,
53 minutes. Should we do anything but football? Have you two watched anything? What have you been up to this week? You watched anything else?
I don't want to talk about what I've been watching this week.
Or is it some like obscure Italian horror film? Or something
Yeah, I don't think anyone,
or something
I
like
don't
that.
think anyone wants to talk about Mr. Majestic 1974, starring Charles Bronson.
No one cares about that.
It was good.
I haven't watched anything this week. I don't think. I finished Mobland. That was it. Watched the last episode of that.
Top telly that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And now it's to try and have a good look around to see what series I haven't watched and what I'm prepared to binge watch.
Well, Slow Horses season 5 starts soon.
Oh.
I need to start season 1.
Mate, you're missing out big style. Have you seen Slow Horses, Ross?
No, I've been hearing a lot about it.
Gary Oldman is just absolutely unbelievable in that. It's such a good show.
He's not bad, is he? He's the Darren Anderton of actors.
Darren Anderson.
Right then, lads. Thank you very much for joining. For the dozens listening. We had some people in France listening, so we are like international now.
Yeah, Chris Waddle.
Exactly.
And we're really sorry the greatest podcast ever didn't record for you.
I know. It will never be heard.
Yeah.
It'll never be heard. Lost in the annals of time.
In the what?
The annals of time.
Dirty dog. Could be kids listening, man. It's a family fun day, man.
It's a family fun day. Like I say, next week we will preview the Club World Cup. I'm looking really forward to it. So yeah, see you later, lad. Cheers.
Cheers now. Bye.
Nice one. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Speak to you soon.